My name is Oshifesolu Larry. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as Formula One Column Africa.
Yes. What a race. What a race. 2 weeks ago, I told you we've just started watching Formula One. You don't understand. We just started watching Formula One. What we've been watching since is just like we've been watching YBNL records. We've been watching Ashake rule the world. We've been watching Burna Boy rule the world. You understand? But now we're having competition. Since the Monza race, we started having competition. And this is just pure Formula One. This is what we've been enjoying for years. When there's competition at the top, when it's not only at the top, you know, as in, it was so interesting. And let me catch my breath first. I said yesterday there will be 3 constructors on the grid. In the last video I released, even in the FP1, FP2 video, I told you there will be 3 constructors at the top, and I told you Mercedes will win. But Mercedes nearly got there. They nearly won the race. But it's just a feeling because of the way I saw the race. I saw it coming that Mercedes could win the race. They nearly won it, but that is bygone. But I told you 3 constructors on the podium. Now we had 3 constructors. The Ferrari, like I told you, the McLaren, like I told you, and the Mercedes. What a race. But let me quickly analyze this, how they started. Carlos Sainz was fantastic. I think Carlos Sainz deserved the driver of the day. He drove that car like a champion. He drove that car with less mistakes. He knew his strengths, he knew his limitations, he knew where that track would help him. He saw it coming. He knew that track is going to be difficult to overtake. Now, on his first stint, kudos to Ferrari. They had a good strategy because that race, like I told you, is a strategic race. They had a good strategy, but they had a bad pit stop in their first set of pit stops. So what happened? Ferrari, Carlos Sainz got a better traction from the beginning of the race. On the first lap, got it right. Leclerc, with the soft tire, was able to overtake George Russell. Now, Lewis Hamilton. When I keep saying it, you cannot compare an experienced driver, a mature driver, even when he's making mistakes. You cannot compare him with a learner. He knew what he was doing. He was able to jump 2 places, but he had to give 1 place back because 1, he ran out of line. And normally, you can take the safety exit. Even if he had not run out of the track, he would still be ahead of Norris, but he wouldn't be ahead of his teammate. Now, his team said he should give the place back to his teammate, who was George Russell. He gave the place back. Lando Norris complained. They told him to give the place back, and I'll tell you why. Mercedes knew they have an opportunity to win the race. They don't want to complicate their issues because at the end of the day, it will play against Lewis Hamilton. We've seen a lot of races it has played against him in the past. So they were like, now, it's better we give this place back. Though he had no right for the space. Himself, Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris were not on the same line. In short, Lewis Hamilton's rear axle was ahead of Lando Norris's car. So he was on pace. But they had to do that because 1, it was just an incident that it has happened to his own teammates. So they have a right to be like, okay, let's give it back. We'll get it back because they know 1, they have a faster car. They can win the race and they don't know what they would come up with. Any incident on first lap, if they look at it critically, it could favor him. But Formula One has not always favored some people. But he got it right. They gave the place back. When he had the same battle with Sergio Perez, you now ask me why he didn't give it back. Because some part of his tire was still on the chicane. Seriously, they won't talk about that part. I'm telling you, the pundits won't talk about that part. He had given it back. They won't talk about it. FIA will not talk about it. But I am sure they might have given him 5 seconds for that. And if Mercedes had looked at it from the point of view of, yeah, we could gain 5 seconds possibly at the end of the race, which they didn't know, they would have told Lewis not to give that place back. They might have won this race. Seriously, purely, they might have won this race. But a good learning for Mercedes, a good mistake for them to learn. And I know they will get it back. Now, let's go back to the race. By lap 20, Logan Sargent bashed his car into the wall. And the guy is so funny. I like him. If I'm going down, we all go down together. He dragged his front wing all through. There's an open space there that he could have parked this car, but he didn't want to park the car, right? He dragged it round the track. He dragged his front wing round the track, knowing that he would destroy some part of his own floor. He dragged it round the track and gave everybody free pit stop behind the safety car. But because the Red Bull chose a very, very strong strategy, they are on hard tires, and their tires are meant to last for about 35 to 40 laps. They were unable to pit because it's It's just lap 20 and they're just getting started. So every other team pitted. Another mistake from Ferrari. Charles Leclerc was trying to back up those behind him. He backed himself up and put himself in a very dangerous situation. Coming out from second, he came out fourth. He was under pressure from Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton was able to overtake him as fast as possible. They overtook Max Verstappen, in which their tires now have gone. They lost tires. Everybody overtook them. They moved from second place, himself and Perez from second and fourth down to 10th and 11th. Now another safety car opportunity by Ocon. Lost his engine. He lost his power unit. Parked on the road. A safety car. What do you do? The Mercedes wanted to do the opposite of whatever Ferrari did because they know they can back everybody up. But it's another gamble. If they change their tires, they have a free tire choice, which is the medium tire. They had free medium tire because they didn't do much on medium tires during the weekend. Other teams do not have medium tires free. So they have a strategy on their hand to use. So the Mercedes did opposite. They pitted, came out about 15-16 seconds behind Charles Leclerc in third. They were fourth and fifth. In like 7 laps, they closed up. They were able to overtake Charles Leclerc that does not have the pace of those ahead of him. Now, this is where Carlos Sainz came in. He's so intelligent. He had no front tires. He had saved his tires while he was battling with Russell. Backed George Russell for like 10 laps. So he has saved his tires. But now he's no more on tires. Lando Norris, no more on tires. George Russell, Lewis Hamilton on fresher tires. The best thing is eat up their tires to save your race. And how do you do that? Back up Lando Norris into your DRS. So Lando Norris will have DRS. Without tires, he can't overtake you. And put the 2 Mercedes behind him in DRS, trying to block them and let them overheat their tires, and they will keep sliding. For 3 laps, that was what happened to the Mercedes. With the pressure of Lewis Hamilton on George Russell, and Lewis Hamilton, like I've always said, is a very, very intelligent driver. He knew his tires were overheating. He knew where the grips are. Putting pressure on George Russell and telling him to speed up so that they can go at least second and third. George Russell was trying to protect himself from Lewis Hamilton, and he clipped the wall. From third, he ended his race 16th position, while Lewis Hamilton ended third. What a great race. And if you don't enjoy this race, because this is just a perfect race of battles. You know, at the front, we saw the battles. We were seeing these cars and exchanging walls, as in they were exchanging clapbacks. They were giving themselves the pressure, and we can see how these young drivers were able to cope. This is not what we've been seeing since the beginning of the season. We just see a driver going in the front, no fight, no battle, the race ends, and a win. We're like, what? This is not Formula 1, man. This is not Formula 1. But now it's just interesting. See, this video won't be long, seriously, but I'm telling you, I am so delighted. I watched the race today. But on the front flexi wings, we will see how the Red Bull will perform next week. If the performance is still the same, then we all know that something has been happening. A team has been cheating, and FIA knows about it, and they didn't talk. If their performance is the same in the next race, or they're about 5/10 down on other teams in the next race, as in there's a battle between them and other teams in the next race, then we know there's a problem. Because this race, they were not just there. They can't hold on to their tires. They are sliding everywhere, and they had to regauge their front wings before the race. So there should be a problem, and if that is what it is, then I tell you, other teams should sue FIA Formula 1. Seriously, this is how really the race panned out. Carlos Sainz started pole position, finished the race first. He led all the lap. Lando Norris started fourth ahead of Lewis Hamilton, finished second. Lewis was behind him already, leading Charles Leclerc. Lewis could have finished the race, possibly third, and if they had gone with their serious strategy, they could have won the race. But I think the team should also consider if there's a faster car like they do in the days of Bottas, can go ahead, because all they wanted was a win. Lewis Hamilton eventually finished third after his teammate didn't allow him pass, and George Russell ran the car into the wall. On the last lap, Lewis Hamilton finished third. Charles Leclerc finished fourth. Charles Leclerc started the race third, finished fourth, with the help of George Russell that ran his car into the wall. Max Verstappen started 11th, finished 5th. That was a great recovery for the Red Bull. Pierre Gasly started 12th. He finished 6th. And also congratulations to his teammate Ocon that lost out, and he was able to fight for the point. I think the two Alpine could have finished easily in the point today. Oscar Piastri, what a great drive for him. From 17th on the grid, he was able to finish 7th. Sergio Perez from 13th on the grid was able to finish 8th, but he's still under investigation for various impediments, for various collisions, so we don't know if his point will be taken out, but he finished the race 8th. Liam Lawson knocked out Max Verstappen and all the Red Bulls out yesterday. Started 10th, but finished the race in 9th position. I think that's the first point, and a very good point for the AlphaTauri team. K-Mag Wow. As team did a good job today. We were able to make sure they get one of the cars into the points. K-Mag finished 10th. That's Kevin Magnussen. Alex Albon impeded in so many ways, pushed off the track, everything to him by Sergio Perez. But he was able to finish his Williams in 11th position. Zhou Guanyu finished 12th, started 19th. He had 3 pit stops and was so intelligent. They were so intelligent in their pit stops. They had the first pit stop on the second lap. Logan Sargent crashed his car, and that was it. He had 3 pit stops and he gave a great drive and got himself into 12th position, but no points. Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap of the race. Nico Hulkenberg started the race 9th and he ended the race 13th. Logan Sargent, for all his troubles, he ended the race 14th. Fernando Alonso finished 15th. He had some issues later in the race, was unable to hold on to the tires. George Russell crashed out on the last lap, finished the race 16th. Fernando Alonso had opportunity. He was really in the points, but was unable to hold on to the tires and everything happened to him. Valtteri Bottas started 16th, finished 17th. It was a DNF for him. He had issues with his gearbox and hydraulic. He wanted to end the race, but he saved time for his team and managed the car back to the garage. Esteban Ocon power unit finished 18th. Yuki Tsunoda clipped his tire, lost some power and ran into a safety area so he won't impede the race. He finished 19th with a DNF. Lance Stroll did not race today because of his accident yesterday, so that he can take a rest and start the Japanese Grand Prix. So there were 19 drivers that raced today, and that is how it was. What a wonderful race again. I tell you, it's a wonderful race. Japanese race next week, 6 a.m. Please, 6 a.m. Please watch out for my video by afternoon. All the vibes, everything I'm going to give you from 3 a.m. on Friday, pushing out for my video, is going to be hot. And like I said, the Ferrari has broken the Red Bull winning streak. Carlos Sainz has broken Verstappen's winning streak. Let's see what these guys can bring next week. Let's see another wonderful race next week. We hope it will be a wonderful race, not lonely at the top again. But that's the provisional classification for 2023 Grand Prix, and we hope to hear from the FIA F1 if there are penalties to be applied or whatever. We will let you know. Okay, we love you. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I love you. Bye. Chee.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
I have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland. Fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them. They get sorted out. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here to check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.